our new topic or our new weekly concept is all about poetry and poems about nature. So, that essential question, the brand new essential question for the week, is what excites us about nature? So, I'm going to show you this picture real quick. Look at that. Look at that whale jumping up and out of the water like that. Imagine the big splash that he would make as he crashes back down into the water. That would be so exciting to see. So, poetry is all about the senses, all about what we see and feel and smell and touch. And then it's also about our feelings. So, that feeling that we feel in our heart, or the feeling how something makes us feel as we read it. That is huge. That is what poetry is all about. So, when I think of nature, I think of things like the outdoors. I think about what can I see outside? What could I write that makes me feel something outside? Or maybe the animals around, maybe my pets, but also wild animals. And what about the seasons? We can write about the different seasons. It was cold this past week, some of those days. It gets chilly, so I think about the different kinds of weather. What does that make me feel like? What does it look like? And how could I put that into words in a beautiful way? So we're going to talk a little bit more about poetry this week, and I want to read to you a few examples of poetry so you can get a better feel for it. So yesterday in our live lesson, we talked about our brand new vocabulary words for the week, and 4 of those words had to do with poetry. So there are words that describe things in poetry. So the first one was alliteration. So alliteration is when it has the same sound, like my example was Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So that sound at the beginning is alliteration. Or we could do, Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled peppers, where it kind of sounds the same because that alliteration of the first sound. So that was one of our words. Another one was rhyming. So if we could say like owl, towel. So it has a rhyme to it as it goes through the poem, and it's a way of organizing the words and making it sound nice to read as well. So another word we talked about was simile. So whenever we use a simile, we're comparing something to something else. So the example we said was fast as lightning, or hot as the sun. So we're using the word as to describe 2 things. You have to have that word as in a simile. But you guys gave some great examples as well. We were talking about these poetry words. So I want you to go ahead and get that essential question back up in our brain. So that is what excites us about nature. So again, always with that essential question, we want to figure out how to answer that question as we read the stories. See if we can figure out a new way to answer it each time. So let's keep that in mind as we learn a little bit more about poetry, and that essential question will come into play. So I'm going to read a couple different versions of poetry to you today, and I want you to be really thinking about those different vocabulary words that we learned. Do you hear any similes? Do you hear any alliterations where the sound is the same at the beginning of the words? Think of those poetry words. What do you like about poetry? How does it make you feel? All right, so sit back and relax. I want you to take a peek at that anchor chart if you have any questions about what poetry really is. We're going to keep coming back to that anchor chart. It looks like it lays it out for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about too. All right, so listen, this first one is called Snow Shape. Snow Shape. So make a quick guess. Just based on the title alone, what do you think the story is going to be about? This poem is going to be about. All right, listen up and just feel the poem as I read it to you. How does it make you feel? What does it make you think of and envision? What senses might you be thinking about as I read? All right, Snow shape. Snow is falling from the sky. It gently lands on the ground. It's bright, bright white, just like cold milk. It looks so soft and smooth. I hate to ruin it with my feet, but I have got a plan. I stand up tall and I close my eyes, and then straight back I fall. I slide my arms up and down, up and down. I move my legs in and out. I stand up to see what I've made. A 4-foot shape in the snow of me. What did she make with her body? She made a shape in the snow. What does that look like? Snow angel, those are called. Very nice. That was by Dana Williams, or Dana Williams, maybe she pronounces it. But what did that make you feel like when you heard those words? Did that make you want to go run and fall back into a pile of soft white snow? Let's read another one here and see how the poet describes things in nature. Remember, as we read these examples, we can remember the things that we like and use that in our own writing. This next one is titled Nature Walk, and it's by Sarah Miller. I'm going to show you real quick. Nature Walk. So just based on the title alone, Nature Walk, and maybe take a peek at the pictures there, what do you think this story or this poem might be about? Nature Walk. Let's read. When you take a walk in the fall, leaves are like a blanket on the ground. They crunch under your feet with each step you take. When you take a walk in the fall, the air feels as cool as drops of rain on your cheek. It smells like a clean cotton towel. When you take a walk in the fall, the outdoors will excite you. It's a wonderful time. Very nice. So I heard a couple of those things. When I saw it smells like a clean cotton towel, instantly I kind of knew what that smell, that fresh, comforting smell. Or what else was the other one? The cold drops of rain on your cheek. When it rains and it drips down onto our face and you feel that little bit of cool water, I could imagine what that felt like. Or here, the leaves are like a blanket on the ground. So you can picture a bunch of leaves spread out like a blanket on the ground. It makes me think of that, a blanket of leaves. Very nice. So I'm going to read you one more poem. Let's see how this poet writes about the excitement of nature. All right, this one is titled In the Sky. In the Sky. So make another prediction. What do you think this poem might be about? What parts of nature might this one be about? All right, this is by Juanita Marco. In the sky, outdoors on a clear day, look up in the sky. What do you see there? Look, I see a giant polar bear. Look, I see a pale flower growing. Look, I see a buffalo and her baby. Wait, it's changing. Now I see a cowboy on a horse, galloping, galloping, galloping across the sky. I wonder where he'll ride. So what do you think that poem was about? I see the pictures of the clouds, and I see the title in the sky. What do you think the poet is doing while writing this poem? Make a guess. Tell me what you think they are doing. Very good. So as today, for your assignment, we are going to make some connections back to that essential question of what excites us in nature. So today I'm going to have you scroll down and you're going to see two questions. The first is this: talk about how nature excites each of the poets in the three stories. If you need to, scroll down and you'll see each of the poems for you down below. If you need to look back at the words, look back at the pictures and the titles to give you clues and help you out. But what about nature excites each of the poets? each of the authors of these poems, they've talked about something specific in each one. So I want you to see if you can figure out what it is that they are excited about nature and what they chose to write about. All right, and then tell me, which poem did you like best? How did it make you feel? How did it excite you about nature? Alrighty, well, good job diving right into poetry. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm right here in Dojo. Have fun today. I look forward to reading your responses. Talk to you later. Bye.